QSL on your 2 Alpha, Iowa.
What is your call again? Over.
November 9, Bravo Alpha Tango.
Well, once again, it's time for Field Day. Members of the Chicago Suburban Radio Association, CSRA, put their emergency communication skills to the test when they participated in Field Day on Saturday, June 27th and Sunday, June 28th, 2009 in Veterans Park in North Riverside, Illinois. The annual preparedness exercise brings together amateur radio operators throughout North and South America who are committed to assisting their communities in the event of a natural or man-made disaster. The goal is to make as many contacts with other ham operators during this two-day event. The public was invited to stop by and tour the site. CSRA members set up and operated using emergency power and temporary antennas. They also had a solar power station that can operate indefinitely without any commercial power or fuel for generators. Field Day is sponsored by the American Radio Relay League, ARRL, the National Association for Amateur Radio. The Chicago Suburban Radio Association has been serving Chicago hams and radio enthusiasts since the dawn of radio itself. CSRA members have spanned all walks of life, from construction workers to lawyers, bankers to broadcasters, teachers to truck drivers. CSRA is the oldest radio club chartered in the state of Illinois and was founded back in 1924. Today, there are nearly 700,000 amateur radio operators in the United States and more than 2.5 million worldwide. Well, I'm back here with Scott. And Scott, now we see a lot of fun here, but there's a lot of important work going on. So tell us, what is Field Day all about?
Field Day is a nationwide emergency communications exercise. In the event some disaster should occur, it doesn't matter whether it is man-made or natural, whether tornado, flood, man-made, there's a whole bunch that could be a man-made type of problem. The possibility exists normal communications would be disrupted. Places could lose power, so your normal things like cell phone towers would not have the power they need to run their computers and such. So your telephone service, which is in this case cell phones, which is very popular today, would be lost. Your land wire type telephone stuff would be lost due to lack of power, and there is some backup power for these systems, but that isn't going to last forever. So what we are doing is amateur radio operators are going to where normally there isn't any radio set up or operated from. We're doing things the hard way. Let's go to a place where there is no communication. Normally set up radio stations. Most of what we're operating here are of the worldwide frequencies. That's why the antennas are large. And we are going to run for 24 hours continuously in a exercise in which we are exchanging information with other stations across the country. There are stations in Canada, there are stations in Mexico, giving a short little exchange as to the number of transmitters we are and an indicator as to whether we are a club station or just an individual working out of his home. That's the exchange, to keep the radio frequencies busy and with lots of traffic, which causes you to have to be able to discern what information you're trying to get from whom, and you have to listen harder because there's a lot of atmospheric noise. There's also the other stations there that make it less than ideal at times to pass the information you need to pass. And we do this for 24 hours, and here you find out if the homebrew antenna system that you figured to be able to quickly take out into a field and deploy is really going to work. Will it continue to work? Or will something happen where you'll have a mechanical failure would be one thing that could possibly happen. We've had some fun with generators out here today. People are finding out they need to do a little more maintenance on their generator. But these are the kinds of problems that could happen during a real emergency, and you need to be able to learn how to think on your feet use what you've got at hand to solve the problem, because the bottom line is we got to be able to communicate so we can help others.
Well, we're back here at the Chicago Suburban Radio Association's Field Day, and I am now with Randy, who is a trustee for the village of North Riverside. And Randy, besides being your father being a member or was a member of this club, I understand that you're here today in an official capacity, or what's your role today?
Hi, Mike. Yeah, I'm here with my father today. He's been involved with this for about 10 years now, so maybe even longer for CSRA. But we've been here with CSRA for about 7 years in North Riverside. They were looking for a new space. They used to be in, I believe, Cicero. And they were looking for a nice, quiet space, out-of-the-way space where they could have their field days. And this worked out really well for them, and I think they're all happy about it here.
Oh, great. Great. So as we understand that the mayor was here too, so it's fair to say that the village officials in North Riverside definitely support what the CSRA is doing today then.
Oh, we recognize that they are an important part of the community over here. The fact that they can provide emergency communications for us in the event of a natural disaster, which we hope never happens. But again, practices like this makes life much more certain for them, and we know what's going to happen if the power goes out, if the phones go out, and if the worst case happens.
Well, once again, we're back here at the Chicago Suburban Radio Association's Field Day. And, a lot of radio transmissions going on, ham radio, shortwave radio, and there's a lot of frequencies and bands and meters. And here from the CSRA is Frank, and we're talking, as far as meters, is that a term that's used too much now? Or?
For us, it's used because we have a little bit of a spectrum from the very low frequencies, the 200 meter end, that would be like 890 kilohertz, now they call them, up to the microwave end, which is gigahertz. And right above the broadcast band, we have what we call our 160 meter band. A lot of people don't use it because you need a very long antenna with it. And if you're going to do a half wave on that, it would be 80 meters. Okay, the next one is 80 meters. That's a bit more popular because you don't need quite as long of an antenna. 60 meters, we can do some things. 40 meters is the next major one. And just to give you an idea, the 160 meters, that's 1.8 megahertz. Actually, 1.9 to 2,000. Kilohertz. That we're not even the mega frequencies there. 80 meters is about 3.5 megahertz. Your 40 meters is about 7 megahertz. And 20 is about 14. So, each one is about half. And so when you're up into your 7 megahertz areas, that's about 40 meters. And at 40 meters, one full cycle is about 40 meters. Then when you get up to your 2 meters, one full cycle is only about 2 meters. So you can do a real easy vertical. That's only just over 6 feet. And when you get up into your gigahertz, some of them are only about this wide, which is one reason why you can control them a little bit better and put shielding and, aim it very specifically. Of course, if you're a little bit off, it goes right by the antenna and they don't hear it.
For more information on the Chicago Suburban Radio Association, CSRA, please take note of your screen.